Do you know who this man is? Well, I'm going to tell you who it is. It's Saint Padre Pio. His real name is Francesco Frangione, and he's from San Giovanni Rotondo, Italy. On a mountaintop is where his monastery was. He's very famous. This is the monk who became a saint, but this is the Capuchin monk who Lorraine Warren actually prayed to in the Amityville house. In 1968, September is when he passed away. But in 1976, in March, Lorraine was at the Amityville house in Amityville, Long Island, along, of course, with Ed Warren and a couple other investigators and the camera crew from Channel 5. While she was in one of the rooms where there's a moose head on the wall, she had a holy relic of Padre Pio clutched in her palm, and she asked for his guidance. She asked for Padre Pio's guidance, and in the picture of the moose head, which I'll show in another video, I don't have it right with me, you could see the image of Padre Pio looking at Lorraine through the antlers and the moose head on the wall. And later on, when Lorraine was speaking to a gentleman by the name of Father Negre, who was a Catholic priest from Rome, she learned that he knew Padre Pio when Padre Pio was alive. And she said, "You know, Father, when I was in Amityville, I prayed to Padre Pio, and he appeared in the antlers," and she showed him the picture. She said, "Why would he do that?" And you know what Father Negre's answer was? He said, "Well, you must have asked him to. You must have asked him to help you." And she did. She prayed to this very, very pious priest for many years. She always felt it was like her priest to pray to. He has a long history. There's a lot of books on Padre Pio that I suggest you read. But he was brought up, of course, in poverty in Italy. Born in the 1800s. Died in 1968. I believe he's 80, 82 in September. But he had the gift of stigmata. If you look on his hands here, you can see the wounds of Christ. And he used to try to cover them up when he gave masses, you know. He would actually, as you can see those sleeves, he would cover the sleeves over so people couldn't really see it. But he would bleed a pint of blood. I'm sorry, not a pint, a cup of blood per day for over 50 years from his palms, from his feet, and from his side. Miraculous miracle. He had the gift of bilocation. He could be seen in 2 locations at one time. He has performed miracles. That's why he's a saint now. There was a girl in Italy who had no retinas. She couldn't see. After Padre Pio prayed over her, this woman with no retinas in her eyes could actually see again. So this priest, he fought the devil. He's almost like the St. Michael the Archangel in life, because he fought the devil on many levels. He was attacked in his little cell in the monastery up in San Giovanni Rotondo, Italy. Francesco Frangione. He was one of the most pious priests that you'll ever meet or would have ever met. And Lorraine loved him. Ed loved him too. And I really have an affinity towards him, and I'll tell you why. Of course, Lorraine turned me on to him after I met Lorraine about how pious and holy this priest was. By the way, I am in the museum, just to show you that I am here in the museum. But we keep holy relics in here, and we keep also crucifixes, picture of Padre Pio, a Bible, to kind of offset the evil that's within, even though we do have the place blessed on a monthly basis. But getting back to Padre Pio, excuse me, I lost a dog, Lucy. It was a wild situation of how I even got her. It was the day after July 4th, years ago. July 5th, we were traveling on Interstate 84. It was hot out. We're driving down 84 near Waterbury. All of a sudden, I see this dog in the high-speed lane running back and forth. My wife says, we got to help that dog. So I stopped the car on Route Interstate 84, got out. Believe it or not, I put my hands out and stopped this traffic that was flying by. And I grabbed the dog, picked him up, handed him to Judy, and Judy put him in the car. And the dog weighed about 45 pounds. I don't know how Judy even lifted him up so easily. Put him in the car, and we drove to a restaurant and called the dog warden. The dog warden came out and says, well, there's no dog reported missing. I could either take the dog back and, see what happens. So we said, well, you know what, we'll take the dog home. You call us if anybody calls. We took the dog home. It was a female border collie. And the dog had a lot of ticks on her, maybe 12, 15 ticks. We brought her to the vet. We believe it was because of the fireworks the night before that she must have got spooked and ran. Well, to make a long story short, I had that dog for 1 year to the day from the day I got her. I love that dog with all my heart. Took her everywhere. She was the greatest dog in the world. Female dog, border collie. And she got sicker and sicker near the end. And she had cancer. I had to have her put to sleep. For weeks on end, I prayed because I was so lost and so grief-stricken by the loss of my dog. And guess who I prayed to? Besides God, I also prayed to Padre Pio for a miracle. I said, Padre Pio, help me get over this loss. I can't seem to shake it. I can't seem to shake the loss of Lucy. And at that time, I worked in a group home as a residential counselor for mentally handicapped individuals. And I went to this group home where there's about 6 residents, and there's a manager there. There's always a manager in those homes. I walked in. It's the first time I've ever been in this particular group home. I sat down. The manager comes out, greets me, says, hey, how you doing? I says, pretty good. He sits in a chair. He says, hey, you want a dog? I go, what do you mean, do I want a dog? He says, come here, Cookie, come here. And he calls this dog over and out of the kitchen. And the dog comes wagging tail out into the room. It's a border collie, black just like Lucy, looks just like Lucy, walks up to me, starts licking my face, let me pet her. I said, you don't want this dog? He said, well, I work in a pet store part-time, and a woman bought the dog and then brought it back because he peed on the rug, so she doesn't want him anymore, so she took him back. I said, well, I'll take him. I took him that night, and I renamed him Joey. I'm sorry, Jackie. And then my next dog was Joey. I named him Jack, and he assimilated into that house like he lived there forever. And was it Lucy reincarnated? Who knows? But I think it was actually a miracle from Padre Pio. He helped me soothe my grief by giving me a new dog. It was beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't believe that this exact same looking dog, this border collie, came to me after I prayed to Padre Pio. It was beautiful. There is power in prayer, ladies and gentlemen. Never forget that. Prayer heals. I want everybody here to know that you are being watched and looked after by angels. Everyone that's listening to my voice has a spirit guide and has a guardian angel watching them and helping them in this life. Now, an angel and a spirit guide are different. An angel is an angel. A spirit guide is not an angel. A spirit guide is a human spirit that has passed over, that is now trying to help you in your life. Could be a relative, could be a friend, could be someone who's just attracted to your aura. But Padre Pio here, get a good look. He is one of the priests, one of the saints that I pray to, and I hope you guys do too. I have to run. I have to go out now from this place. And I appreciate all your comments and your thoughts. And you guys are amazing. You really are. And I'm learning from you. I'm learning things from you when you quote from the Bible and things. and you talk about different experiences. Keep them coming, because I'm always here to learn. I don't know everything, like Ed said. He goes, we don't know everything, Tom. We're not meant to. But we're always here to learn. To learn about the afterlife and about the paranormal realm and about how to live our lives here. Ladies and gentlemen, I truly appreciate it. So for now, it's Tony Spera. I'm signing off. Take care and stay safe.